Welcome, dear readers, to Cover My Ass, where baffling books are reviewed but not read by yours truly. My name is Kaki.
And I'm Kay, and remember, we only judge a book by its cover.
And we find ourselves once more amid the towering stacks of your library, where I've made a little corral out of your bookshelves.
I thought you were going to let them go.
I had a little idea.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe we could make a little money on the side.
Oh?
Because, okay, so I've been studying and then domesticating and then being kind of horrified by these hebdromedaries.
Yeah, they're a bit weird, aren't they?
Headless, legless, sort of lumpy creatures with seven humps. We do not like them, but they are kind of captivating.
Yeah.
And
well,
so
they're
I
captive.
wonder. I mean, they're not obviously going to benefit from just roaming around in the wild where they're kind of scary, and I don't want to meet one by accident.
No, I could ask the raccoons to take care of them.
Are you sure about that? Because there might be a price.
Well, this is possible, yeah. But how are you going to make some money?
Dude Ranch.
Dude Ranch. Great.
You get it?
That sounds amazing.
Yes. So, I don't actually know what a dude ranch is, other than, like, city slickers,
Yeah, I think that's the thing, yeah.
So I think we should market it to actual dudes. So, like, skater dudes and surfer dudes.
Oh, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I've only got one small problem here.
When's
the last time you saw any dudes here in the library?
It's funny that you say that.
Oh.
It has been a while.
Yes, something like 64 weeks, I would reckon.
No. Allow me to remind you of our last open day.
Oh, right. Yes, that's true.
That was in the summer last year. I remember as well, when a lot of people showed up, some of them dudes, some of them speaking Czech and other various foreign languages at the time, but I do remember their company.
Slipped my mind. I don't know how. I could have forgotten. I haven't seen that many people in the library in ages, but yes.
So I think maybe we ought to plan for another open day.
That sounds like a good plan.
And then this time, maybe make a little money off of them.
As in by charging a fee for riding dromedaries, milk? Do they give milk? Have you tried milking them?
I'm not going near the underside. I mean, I honestly don't know what the underside is. It's just...
Yeah, it's kind of like maybe like with starfish. Probably you don't want to know or see.
Yes, exactly. So I think that this can be like one of the attractions that if we do host another open day, say in a few weeks... Just
wonder how that came up.
We should just give ourselves some time to spontaneous.
Let's do that. Yeah,
we should just give ourselves some time to prepare, and then maybe see if there's some fun activities for the people who show up.
Maybe we can have dromedary races, and then like
what would that look like?
Well,
which side is front?
Doesn't really matter. We set up a few. It's like in one of those ferret racing tracks. Now you set up like an obstacle course
that's so
for the abdominators between the bookshelves, and then you race them through, and then people can bet on which one is going to ooze its way over to the other side first.
Yes. For the readers at home, we have had the extraordinary privilege of witnessing ferret racing. It was organised by a ferret, and I think in general Mustelid, a rescue charity in the vicinity of Birmingham in Britain. And it was just fantastic.
Twice, actually. And it also involved ferret roulette, which was kind of funny. It was like basically a big box with 8 spokes coming out of it, and the ferret gets dropped in the middle, and whichever spoke it comes out of is the winner.
Oh yes, it's just the random pipe, and you bet on the pipes, and all of it went to charity. It was tremendous fun. The ferrets were having a great time.
Oh yeah, they loved it when they were like playing around and not sleeping, which they still do a lot. Ferrets like 20 hours a day or something.
Really?
Yeah, they sleep like forever.
Yeah,
they do this dead sleep thing too, where they are literally completely limp, barely breathing.
Oh wow!
And you can just like poke them and pick them up, and they'll be just like, ugh.
Okay, so they live very different lives from us, where we have like languidity and wakefulness, but they have just fucking hyper and gone.
That's exactly what they are. It's like when they sleep deep, you can pick them up and they'll just keep sleeping. They'll just be completely out of the world.
I wonder if I've held one.
No, I have, but somewhere between.
They're basically like a slinky in a sock.
Yeah. I suppose that's the way. They do stretch, and sometimes they
a nylon sock. Then a slinky and a stocking. That's a ferret right there.
Yes.
But so, what do we have in store for our readers this week?
This week's book is by Lois, McMaster, Bujold. Yes, let's go with
that. I think so. Yeah.
The War Game, and it is a Hugo Award winner.
Yes, but apparently not for this book again.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Do you think this book won the Hugo Award?
Yeah, I think so, because otherwise it is usually by Hugo Award-winning author. And then the title, but now it actually says so below the title, and it kind of has the same golden background. So
yes, and it's got like a little star. Yeah. I don't think we've done this before.
An actual Hugo.
I'm feeling incredibly trepidatious now.
Well, we've already read it. We know how it ends. So. Mm-hmm. So yes, the War Game, VOR.
Yes, that's the video game obfuscating reality because
A casual comment from the comfortably abducted daytime TV star Romula DeDeridex gets her alien hosts delving into the netherworld of Twitch streaming. They soon mistake a notorious video game cheater for a brilliant military strategist and kidnap them to lead their intergalactic skirmish under the passive-aggressive guidance of his sleazy, talented agent/uncle.
There's a lot there, and certainly in the cover as well. My eye was immediately drawn to the untrustworthy, winking, balding face.
At the bottom right,
At the bottom right, yes.
Yes,
of the skeezy uncle slash talent agent.
Uncle Columbo.
Uncle Columbo, yeah, I did not like him at all.
No, he was a bit of a weird man, especially, inappropriate comments, not just towards Deirdre, but also towards...
Deirdre, you mean Romula?
Romula, did I say? Oh, the DeDeridex. Yeah, yes.
Romula DeDeridex. It's a perfectly normal name that some Star Trek The Next Generation nerds are really going to appreciate. Because, I mean, one can say that Lois McMaster Bujold, caters or panders to a certain audience of nerds, but, I've never made that accusation.
I'm not sure if he reminds me more of the Emperor or of Doc, what's-his-face from Back to the Future? Doc Emmett.
Doc Emmett
and
Brown.
Emmett Brown and the Emperor.
And Emperor Palpatine, before his disfigurement, he reminded me of the Sicilian from The Princess Bride.
Yes, there was a little bit of that as well, yeah.
And hovering above him in the composition, but apparently not looking at him, is Romula.
Yes, clearly.
Oh, off to the bottom left. Who is that? Which of the interesting characters do you think that was?
I think that is our video game cheater, the hero of the book. I think that's Savage Fred.
Yes. I see the resemblance. It's such a cool name.
It's obviously his gamer handle.
Gamer handles are such a wonderful art form where they can be, on the one hand, incredibly obtuse and cool and self-referential, and on the other hand, they can just be kind of whimsical and playful. Like our favorite gamer, Sonic Fox.
Yes.
What kind of a name is that? That's just the video game that he was into and the animal that he thinks is cool, or thinks was coolest. He probably came up with that name when he was 8. And
or 12 or something along those lines. I think Leetspeak is on its retour, isn't it?
I think it goes through sort of cycles of Leetspeak where you replace letters with numbers.
Yes.
And I sort of equate it to, do you know Verlan in French?
No.
Okay, so in the L'Anvers arrondissement of Paris, it's sort of like Cockney rhyming slang, but it's syllable swapping.
Oh, okay.
So
kind of like spoonerisms.
Yes, but instead of being accidental, they're very, very deliberate. So it's from L'Anvers, so it's called Verlan. Yes. And instead of a table, one would say bleuta, right? And instead of a woman, femme, it would be meuf.
So it would be more like Pig Latin. Pig Latin, yes.
Pretty
much that, yeah. Ixnay was the language,
language lay.
Well, yeah.
So that was popular for a while in French, and I learned it from my cousins out in Paris. And then, as those fads go, it faded. But then it came back, and it sort of recycled on itself, where old Verlan words were re-Verlanized, and they were swapped again.
Oh, so to make them even more obtuse.
Yes.
Oh wow! Yes.
So Arabe for I think any Middle Eastern and North African descended person in France, Arabe was first bara and then reba.
Oh wow! That makes it even
And now it's beurre.
Oh.
Because it swapped back again.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now it's butter. So if someone calls you butter, they think you're of African descent, at least.
So I wonder if that happened with Leetspeak, where Leetspeak words got retranslated back through Leetspeak and are now absolutely incomprehensible. Maybe that's where some of the cheat codes come from.
Well,
retroactively, there's one that starts with 603, and that was one of the early. That came up in the do you know how there was the appendices that basically read like a Wikipedia article called "Cheating in Video Games"?
Oh, I must have missed that. Yeah. It's I don't always read appendices.
I thought it was so cheeky by Lois McMaster Bujold to just
include that.
Yeah.
It helps. It helps for the readers who are not familiar with that kind of thing.
Yes, exactly.
It's like it happens in books. It's like, to a certain degree, I guess you can expect your audience to know a little bit background in these matters. And sometimes that fails miserably.
Yeah.
Like when I got my father a copy of Halting State to read.
Oh, by Neil Stevenson?
No, by Charles Stross.
Oh, well, Charles Stross.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's full of internet references, which if you've been on the internet since like the 90s, you get them all. My dad had no idea. He's like, I don't have no idea what this book's about. It's like, I don't get half of it. And
because he's the one who still makes the sign of the cross when your mum walks by playing Scrabble on an iPad, right?
Oh, sign of the cross?
Well,
What?
he does some kind of warding sigil against this technology.
No. He's not.
Okay.
I mean, I had to drag him kicking and well, he had when he retired. They gave him his old computer from work, which was an old Pentium something. I don't know what it was. It was
That's still pretty.
Back in
color screen and VGA and all that.
Yeah, it did have that, but it was just like, and like after a few years that started failing, and I would like, Dad, I'm getting you a Mac. And like, no, I don't want that, and blah. And I've got another one just like this because they gave me a spare, and like I just transferred it and go like, no, not gonna happen. I'm just getting you a new one.
Yes.
And yeah, no, he's
You
been
are a good son.
He's been happy. He's been very happy with it after. My mother was actually the technophobe who was completely unable. She would not engage with the computer. My dad tried several times, and I just gave her my old iPad, and that worked because Word Feud, and like it allows her to play with her sister, and like it has her email in an accessible format.
Yes.
And, yes. It works fine. I can now email her, and like I couldn't get her behind the computer with a stick, but yeah, iPad works just fine. I got them actually one of those books called iPads for Seniors.
Oh yes, one of those wonderful scams.
It's not for dummies, but it's for seniors.
No, I saw one recently. It was Airpods for seniors. Airpods, the wireless earbuds. Yeah, like that has to be it's got to be just open the box and you put them in your ear and you tap them. And,
how does that even work? Yeah, no, I mean for
how could there be more information in there than there is on the box of the AirPods?
No, exactly. No, for AirPods I can like see that like it would be totally nonsense, but yeah, for an iPad, I mean, it gives you people.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, it gives them
like good apps to download.
And it's like it gives them. I think there's like you can find all that stuff online as well, but it gives them in for them accessible format a book.
Yes.
So that they can actually sit there and look at it and
And the confidence that the material therein is comprehensive, so they can get round to playing. I don't know, like, what's a casual game these days? Farmville was it for a while.
I don't know what it was like.
We are so out of touch. Yeah. Thankfully, we are the ones who are now reviewing this this rather advanced book. I've got to say, like some of the references were like way beyond
the Vor game. Yes,
the Vor game. Yeah. So,
starting out with our, I was going to say titular character, but it's not our titular character. And why will this?
You always want to say titular character.
I
Is
know.
it just because she's got boobies?
Well, I guess like
does that make her the most titular character on the cover?
Yes. Well, she boobily titted down the cover or something. Actually, it's not by. Shit, what's her name again? Hang on.
Paul Anderson.
No. What's it?
No, shit.
No.
I had it. Lisanne Norman.
No, that's not what I was thinking of either.
That was the book.
Oh, yeah, no, I get that.
Okay.
But, book, what's this now? Sorry, I need to find the, hang on, sorry, I need to get this right. Yeah.
Take it from the top.
Yep. I mean, can't remember what the top was, but yes. I mean, she didn't boobily tit her way down the stairs like it was a book by Jim Butcher. She did not boobily tit her way down the stairs like it was a book by Jim Butcher, but
oh my goodness, author of the Dresden Files.
That's the one.
Is
Yes,
that right?
yes. Apparently, he is like very much describing females and their breasts.
Oh, really?
I never noticed it. I must have just glossed over it. But
well,
like
as
recently,
gay gentlemen, we have certain blind spots.
Exactly. Recently, a friend of ours has been like commenting on this when he was like, I think he had his husband read them to him or something while he was doing other things, and then he could not or the other way around. And, yeah, there was really awkward scenes in where he's like describing the bust of one of the female characters in the books once in a while.
I saw. I think it was in McSweeney's. There was a piece, and that was a sort of a counterexample of male writers writing female characters and how they bustily boobily titted down the and it was female writers writing about male things, and so it was like loading extra carburetors into her hunting rifle. And
that's a very good one.
And then she cranked her abs into the. It was so good.
Cranked her abs into the tight. Sleeveless top. That's
yes. Those are beautiful examples of people in inventing stories about subjects that they've never really encountered. But so we are now covering this story by Lois McMaster Bujold about the seedy underbelly of Twitch streaming and game cheating. We start off with Romula DeDeridex, the daytime TV star who previously appeared in episode 57. I want to say that tone of voice usually rescues me.
Maybe slightly older than that, I think.
And no, it is episode 57. Lisanne Norman's Between Darkness and Light episode through the ear of a cover artist, where she was abducted by the Kakarakek and the Kekarakek, dogs and cats aliens, because her famous disinterest was misinterpreted
as genius detachment.
And so she was kidnapped in order to mediate their conflict. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, a new conflict has arisen,
requiring her assistance. She's like making her way back to Earth from the Kek, as I believe they call themselves now, Empire.
Yes, now that they've unified, they've put aside their pronunciation differences, and they just call themselves the Kek.
Yes, making her way back to Earth from the Kek Empire, they come across the Highland Star League.
Ah, yes. The Highland Star League. I love how this universe of Lois McMaster Bujold was populated with a huge variety of interesting species, and I was very keen to learn more about the Highland Star League.
Yes.
As I'm sure our readers are too, so let's tell them about the Highland Star League and what they're like.
Great, yes. That sounds like a really good idea.
I thought you read all about it. I thought you were the one who...
I did. Well, clearly they're humanoids, as we can see in the on the cover of the book. They have a tendency to show the back of their heads to other people. They're politely turned away from the viewers.
Or in fact, are they? Because I remember that it was vividly described in the book how they have two backs of the heads on either side of their heads. They've got ears in the middle.
That kind of solves the problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was very clever by Lois McMaster Bujold.
I'm not quite sure where their mouths are at that point, but it's like...
I guess it's sort of like with starfish and hebdromedaries, best not to wonder.
Ah, yes.
You do not want to see those results on Google image search. The Highland Star League are longtime allies of the Kek, and it's unsurprising then that they give a fair warning, like, you better watch out because our region of space is hotly contested. We are, after all, experiencing a bit of a conflict with Neo-Agrabah. Now, this is a civilization that we know from episode 35?
Yes, it sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that's right. Wow. Yeah. Way to go, that tone of voice. Yeah. Paul Anderson's book, which featured Disney's Jasmine and Raja from Aladdin.
Oh, right, yes.
It
was 35. I'm amazed at how do you do that?
Yes. And one day I will lose this streak, and then down will I tumble from my pedestal. Yes, but in the meantime...
The Game of Empire was the title
that's
of the book.
One, yes. by Paul Anderson, where she and Raja, her trusty tiger, found themselves in Neo-Agrabah, a planet that was once ruled by brutally oppressive people who had enslaved a race of anthropoid cat people who fought their way to freedom. But apparently, like, finding their way to freedom was not quite enough for them. So their leaders, whom we might remember as Kamagar and Viagra, have, in their efforts to, like, erect an empire of their own...
And, get rid of the human overlords.
...have interpreted the Highland Star League as the descendants of their hated...
They're vaguely humanoid, at least when viewed from behind, which is... they're always viewed from behind, even if you're standing right in front of them. I mean, I guess not if you're standing...
The famous expression, behind the Highland.
Oh.
Do you not know that expression?
No, I don't know.
It's sort of that you don't quite know whether you're sneaking up on them from behind or whether you're still facing them.
You really never know where you're standing with them.
You never know when you're behind the Highland.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the Highland Star League are unprepared for this. So they ask for the borrow of Romula DeDeridex.
Because they hope they can, like, sort it out and get
Yes, if you were able to solve this problem between the Kekarakek and the Kekarakek...
You should be able to mediate.
Yes. And she goes, like, she says her famous catchphrase.
Whatever.
Exactly. And she's loaned out to the Highland Star League, but immediately she's, like, she sort of expects, like... okay, so I'm going to face another, like, famous television princess, Jasmine. Like, I can handle that. I can communicate to her on our level. But she is instead faced by another character that we know from Neo Agrabah, the Gene E AI,
yes.
the son of a bitch, artificial intelligence who has taken the position of like a vizier.
He's like advising. Yeah,
he's more like a puppeteer, and he's just the worst.
He's unscrupulous, whispering little seeds of doubt into their minds, and like making them view whatever.
They think that his terrible policies are their idea.
Yes, and like viewing whatever the opposing side does in the worst possible light.
Yeah, sort of like an underminer, sort of like a vicarious parent manipulating their child.
Yeah.
Like, there is a huge difference between like a stern and disciplined upbringing in order to encourage high accomplishment, as is common in some cultures, and just being a dickhead who wants to like resolve their own failures.
Right.
Through...
Well, it's more a bit. I think it's more insidious manipulation, trying to get the kill all humans kind of thing.
And that's something that I think Romula very quickly identifies. I think it's to her great credit that she recognizes.
Oh yeah, she figures it out right away. She's
I'm not going up against Gene.
This is not happening. There's going to be a fight. I'm out.
You need something else.
Whatever. Not my problem. I'm going to, like, in an uncharacteristic bout of helpfulness.
She says, whatever, I'm out of here.
And she goes like,
and actually,
take me home and I'll help you find the right guy.
Yeah.
The Highlands are more than happy to help her out, put her on a ship, send her back to Earth, and like she basically plugs them into the system. And it's like she goes like, we need a master strategist.
Yes.
And I know just where to find this.
And how brilliant is that of her that she immediately then reaches for Twitch.
She figures that's exactly what we're going to do.
I sort of liked how in the book Lois McMaster Bujold sort of presented Twitch like essentially Mos Eisley in Star Wars, like a treacherous hive of scum and villainy.
Fairly good description. I mean, a lot of stuff goes on there which is wholesome.
Yes, and a lot of people do love it, and there's a lot of just...
Didn't they have a Bob Ross marathon there at one point?
Oh, is that where it... Oh, that's so good.
I'm pretty sure that's where it happened, yes.
What a wonderful thing it must be to just watch Bob Ross do his thing with other buds on the internet.
Like everybody was just like commenting on it, and whenever he was like slapped it, like beat the devil out of it. And
You know, he's really popular in Iran.
I guess he would be, yes.
Well, he never paints anything haram. He never paints any living figures.
Yeah, he only paints landscapes.
And he praises God all the time. Like, it's great.
I guess that subtitles very easily to... Inshallah?
I don't even know about that. I
assume they subtitle it, or
maybe he's dubbed.
It.
Is it subs versus dubs?
I want to see this now. I want to see an Iranian dubbed Bob Ross.
I really enjoy like Bob Ross's programs and just watching them. And I would love it if that was like the bridge to someone from a different culture. Yeah. I don't speak Farsi. I don't speak the other languages spoken in Iran.
He's got such a lovely, calm voice. Always.
You know, he used to be a drill sergeant.
Yes, I heard about that. And he stopped, and he never wanted to shout at anybody again. Right. So he just I'm just going to be painting.
Yeah.
So people ask, like, can you buy a Bob Ross painting? And it's almost impossible to get your hands on one because they're all in the hands of the Bob Ross Foundation type thing, which makes their money out of selling paint and supply. And almost all of the paintings that he painted on show are in their possession. Sort
of like the John Romero Memorial Starcraft Fund. I keep saying Starcroft. Like it's Lara Starcroft.
I think you're mixing your video games here.
I am a bit. Which is funding a video game contest that is being hotly contested. Savage Fred is in the lead inexplicably, considering that his skills are not widely renowned.
No, he's clearly using wall hacks, which is quite an achievement when you're playing Starcraft.
But it's amazing that he's doing these wall hacks.
I'm not sure how you do that. I guess you'd walk through your enemies' walls and stuff, rather than having to work around them.
So when the Highland Star League observed this, immediately, they just straight up, what is it? They straight up Last Starfighter
yes,
him.
Exactly that, yes.
And kidnap him.
They lost Starfished him.
They lost Starfished him. That's right. Oh yeah, it was kind of gross. So it's sort of what in my night terrors when I imagine what the underside of a Hebdromedary looks like. That's what Lois McMaster Bujold describes as a spectral, undulating orifice, sort of
UFO hovering with this beam of light coming out, which gracefully reaches up. Nothing like that.
No, not in the
more like a wet starfish dropping from the ceiling and engulfing him. If you've seen Galaxy Quest, you've got the gel thing that surrounds him. That is clean and immaculate and hygienic compared to the scene that was described here.
And clearly a lot of fun, according to Engineer Chen.
I think he was just awed by it.
Super
And
high.
he was like high as
super
balls.
duper high. But that's not the case for Uncle Columbo, who's sitting off to the side.
No, he notices this, like he's
My
like,
golden goose!
Yes, I can't like let him go. He like dives after him, grabs him by the leg, and gets sucked up into the starfish as well.
Not making that into the title of this episode.
Sucked into the
starfish is not going to be the title of this episode. We're going to have to come up with something better to avoid that. So the situation is quickly explained to him, like been last starfished.
You've been chosen by the Highland Star League to be the last starfish.
The story splits into two parallel streams, where on the one hand we have Savage Fred facing off against his now nemesis, the Gene E AI of Neo Agrabah,
yes,
who is their strategist. Like, he starts off with suggesting wall hacks, which allow the Highlands to penetrate the
Which is
Agrabans.
great, but wall hacks don't work in real life.
Well, much like Galaxy Quest, the Highland Star League's problem is not technological superiority, it's imagination.
Yes.
They have the ability to realize all these things. So after he suggests this wall hack penetrating their deepest defenses, he then also suggests a memory editor, literally altering the memories of
the opponents,
of Kamaga and Viagra, and erasing Gene E from their esteem.
Yeah, so they have no idea who he is. Who's this guy who's trying to tell us what to do and how to act? And
yes,
it's a bold plot, and it works out very well for them.
Now, unfortunately, Gene E, the asshole AI, is not so easily knocked out. Like, he has come up with the idea of stream sniping, whereby observing the live stream that Uncle Columbo has insisted on broadcasting.
For some reason, he's managed to get his iPhone to work. I think he's nicked some technology from the Star League. And he's like broadcasting Savage Fred's exploits back home to keep the Twitch accounts going up. It's like he's monetized the account, and it's like pouring in like donations and like, oh, this is so cool, and what is like, this is a new game, and like who let you in onto the beta, and why haven't we heard about this? And like the Twitch stream is exploding with excitement about this. How much is Fred? Do you think he's like, does he know that he's playing a game? It's not like Ender's Game where it's actively hidden and concealed from him. I think he's just too clueless to realize.
I mean, it's certainly Uncle Columbo, who is monetizing and profiting substantially from his Twitch stream, is not inclined to distract his beloved nephew with these little details, like constantly just waving it off. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Like, he's kind of low-level harassing Romula all the time, with like sleazy comments and like, pats on the butt and
she's like, whatever, like she can deal with this. It's unfortunate that she has to, of course.
I mean, I don't understand. Like, why did she come back with them to the Highland Star League? I mean, she wanted to go home, and then like somehow she ended back up where it was. It's like,
hey, Lois McMaster Bujold, you left a huge plot hole in your book, The Vor Game.
I think there's a fourth wall break in there, something where she's actually...
A fourth wall hack?
Good. A fourth wall hack in there at some point.
Oh, we found a title for this episode. Oh, thank God. It doesn't have to be the fucking starfish thing.
Sucked up into a starfish.
No, don't say it again. The fourth wall hack? Yeah.
Where she's like, why are you here? Why are you not back on Earth? And it's like, why are you here? And it's like, I was in the comic.
I returned somehow.
Actually, I have to admit, like, stealing that joke from Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh, very good. No, very good, very good. Like,
put credit where credit's due.
Exactly. Steal from the best. As does Savage Fred when Gene E has clawed his way back from the memory editing and found a way around the wall hack, and he unleashes that ultimate power move, the Konami code.
Oh,
do you know the Konami code off the top of your head?
No, I don't. It's up. Down, left, right, A, B, A,
that's
A, B,
right.
E?
That's right. That's almost
close.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, A, B. And I know that because this is very narrow casting.
Yeah.
I learned that as a dance.
Oh.
I photographed a wedding with two wonderful people in the games industry, and they had met through the games industry, and they were a fantastic couple, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully meeting them again at some point in the future when I escape / am released / leave the library. Who knows when that might happen. Yeah, I know how that goes. And so as part of their wedding dance, they choreographed a line dance that symbolizes the Konami code. And so I remember the steps, and there's like forward, and back, and then left, and twirl, and back, twirl back, and then the select and start again, and then you make like a little shimmy, and
that's adorable.
And we did that with the whole family. It was so great. So he does this in front of or behind of the Highland Star League. You're never quite sure with a Highland, and that's supposed to be like the final move. But he had not counted on the Gene E taking that final power move of any multiplayer gamer and just yelling "Line leg!
Pulling the cable and...
Now, this, of course, results in enormous destruction on all sides. It's a massacre out of pure spite.
Planets, fleets, ships, everything gets destroyed.
Winking out
It's
of existence.
Yeah, it's like the original. Well, it's like I think it was in one of the original Unreal tournaments. I think where there was a bit of a lag hack. Basically, the trick was that to compensate for laggy connections, certain weapons started doing more area damage if you had a lower ping.
Oh, that's elegant.
Yeah. So the trick was fire the gun, pull your network cable, wait for the lag to build up for a second, then plug it back in, and you basically wiped out the entire map with a massive blast.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay, now I understand. That wasn't clear in the book to me.
That must be the reference.
That must be what he did.
Boosting a weapon by doing a lag hack on it.
Obliterating Neo Agrabah and the Highland Star League and leaving a stunned Savage Fred just
sitting on his space station watching the game, like game over, basically.
Where even Romula and her utter indifference to everything, she is stunned by what's just happened, and her whatever turns into an, oh my God.
Yes, that was like scary almost to read that coming out of her mouth.
Yeah, other than the people on Twitch, there was no one here to observe it. Like the Highland Star League and the Neo Agrabahs were wiped out until Savage Fred, and I thought that it was fantastic that this cheater is the one who manages to save the day with that ultimate cheat code, IDKFA. If you remember that, which stands for a magic spell. Do you remember which one? I didn't kill fucking anybody. Thus undoing every lethal effect of this entire war, restoring everyone to life with their full memory, thanks to the undoing of the memory editor.
You know, that's kind of like reverting to a previous save game. What he did, essentially what he did.
And so, thanks to this, Jasmine and Raja and Kamagra and Viagra realized that they were led astray by the genie
by the evil genie, yes,
and banish him through a wall hack and edit his memory and reach a hand of friendship out to the Highland Star League.
Who are, more than happy to accept peace.
Yeah.
Yes, Romula manages to, pull it off again. Like, she engineered it. It's another one to her credit.
Yeah.
Somehow she gets credit with the brilliance of bringing on Savage Fred and his skeezy uncle.
Yeah, Uncle Columbo, who, he has kept the old family business going. Well, I thought it was quite cool that these Neo Agrabahs realized that you can truly trust the Highland Star League because with two backs of their heads, they are the opposite of Two-Faced.
Exactly.
You know exactly where you stand.
Behind them.
Yes.
And you can say, get behind me, the devil, or whatever is the expression.
Vada retro Satanas.
That's the one, yes. Which seems like a dangerous proposition considering the devil's proclivities, but,
Yeah.
It's always...
I wouldn't trust that. And so I was really glad that it ended on such a conciliatory note, just as the previous book in this series.
Yes, I had it a moment ago.
Between the darkness and the light. Yes.
Thought you talked the Game of Empire.
And Game of Empire.
Sorry.
Yes.
It's like we're doing an awful lot of sequels recently, aren't we?
That's a habit we should either break or lean into at some point. Maybe something to think about. But in the meantime, how did we like this week? How are we going to rate this week's book?
This is going to be a good one. I'm going to. Let's
so what
say,
do we have? We have backs to heads. We have cheating.
Oh, I was going to say we're going to have to Metacritic it.
That's right. So Metacritic goes out of 100. I mean, that one's relatively easy.
Yeah.
But they also have like a pithy one-line summary that they've condensed out of all the various reviews. So.
Yeah, I'll give it an 88 out of 100.
88. I like that. And so what's the pithy sort of sentence with which we're going to... and I swear to God, if there's anything about a starfish...
I'll steer away from the starfish.
Thank you.
So let's see.
Steering away from the starfish is also a bad episode title.
Let's see. Starfish. No, starfish. Now you put my mind on the wrong track.
I did. I'm so sorry. We started off with the John Romero Starcraft fund. And as we remember, John Romero, during the promotion of his ill-fated /bad game Daikatana, he took out a full-page ad to promote it in some game magazine, which said in bright, bold red, John Romero is going to make you his bitch.
Oh,
Daikatana. Wow. Yeah, that did not go over well.
No.
That was like bigger than Jesus.
Well, I can make Savage Fred is going to make you his bitch. That's pretty...
And you know what? I can deal with that. Like, Savage Fred, way to go. And hopefully, if you ever face Sonic Fox, you won't rely on any of these cheats and you'll just play fucking video games like you're supposed to.
Play it straight, play it hard, win real.
Win real? Okay, that's a good one. That would have also been a nice Metacritic review. And speaking of reviews, if you look down at your podcasting device, you should be seeing some kind of option to leave a rating or a review for our podcast. Please, leave us a couple of stars. Let us know what you thought at covermyasscast@gmail.com or on Twitter at covermyasscast. And we'd just love to hear what you think. And if you have any ideas for future books that you'd like us to review but not read, please send those on to us as well. Now, what do we have in store for our readers next week?
Next week's book is by Jenny Mullen, Live Fast, Die Hot.
Oh, good advice. And that about covers it. Thank you for joining us at Cover My Ass, where baffling books are reviewed but not read by yours truly. My name is Kaki.
And I'm Kay, and remember, we only judge a book by its cover.
Oh, is that sort of a metaphor for, being plunged into a decaying orbit around the sun?
Yeah, space isn't up, space is fast.
Oh, yeah, I get that. I sort of get that. That's a good nerdy joke. That's a cool way to end the podcast.
Well, as long as it's not about getting sucked into starfish.